There's a lot of talk, especially about this Kash Patel pick for the FBI director by President-elect Trump. Um, I feel like a lot of people are pointing their fingers at me, obviously, because we're both Indian, both from the same part of India, which would be Gujarat. And Kash Patel, he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys. I know a lot of people like him. I know a lot of people who resemble the Kash Patel philosophy, and it's definitely interesting for sure. But jokes aside, Kash Patel is someone who's a stark Trump loyalist. Um, he is not afraid to speak his mind for sure. He's very against the whole idea of the FBI being a fourth branch of government. While I agree, I guess I'll take it back. For those of you who don't know, the first FBI director was J. Edgar Hoover, who was appointed by President Calvin Coolidge. J. Edgar Hoover served from, I think, the late 1920s all the way up to, I want to say, the 1970s, so about 30, high 30s years of service. And J. Edgar Hoover was a very, very screwed up man. Very screwed up. He abused a shit ton of power. And as someone who doesn't really necessarily give a lot of merit and respect to bureaucracies, I am not a J. Edgar Hoover fan by any measure. Obviously, I wrote down here he was also known for, going after unlawful surveillance against political groups, activists, individuals, labor organizers, and political descendants. This was most prevalent for um, his surveillance of Dr. MLK Jr. A lot of people believe wholeheartedly and passionately that because of actions that J. Edgar Hoover took, um, MLK's life was taken away prematurely because he spoke up against J. Edgar Hoover's beliefs of, a white supremacist society. I happen to be on the side where I believe that MLK's death is some way or another linked to J. Edgar Hoover's doing. I don't know how much J. Edgar Hoover did that, but Hoover was also notoriously known for his wiretapping and harassing and forging documents of political opponents. So obviously, Congress has the power of the purse, designating money to bureaucracies, or at least supposed to. But J. Edgar Hoover had a remarkable strategy of saying, "Hey, I'm going to steal um, and unlawfully, investigate, maybe even make up things about my political opponents or people who oppose the FBI, and I'm going to present it almost as blackmail. And if you don't continue to vote for my, FBI funding, then you're going to be on the chopping block." So by just rinsing and repeating that cycle, he was able to make the FBI such a conglomerate and literally that fourth branch of government. Obviously, and on top of that, the Red Scare. Hoover was extremely anti-communist. I'm not a big fan of communism myself, but I'm also not a fan of just censoring people, especially communist sympathizers or Soviet sympathizers, without any warrant, without any due process. None of that shit is flying by me. And he was also not in favor of transparency of government. He had this idea of national security overweighs and over, trumps the idea of individual rights. I'm on the side of, obviously national security does exist, but the people's rights are obviously more, they trump them anytime, any day, most days. Um, so basically, J. Edgar Hoover, a big abuser of power, expanded the FBI to what we know now today as the secret police force that is responsible for a lot of things the general public is not, um, worthy, according to them, of knowing and all this kind of stuff. And now you have Kash Patel, and Kash Patel said, vehemently, like he's going to take, he's thrown the idea of releasing the JFK files or the Epstein list or the Diddy files now or the Diddy list. And that's why a lot of conspiracy theorists, prominently Alex Jones, are coming out their little caves and saying, this is why Ellen is moving out. This is why all these celebrities are moving out of the U.S. because they're afraid that, they're going to get linked to Diddy or Epstein or what you have it. But, obviously I think it's good. I think, the people do deserve to know what's going on with their government. I mean, hell, we're giving up our power away to the government. We're paying them with our tax dollars, even though our tax dollars don't mean shit these days because the Fed Reserve can just borrow on their own money and print their own money, which I digress. But, we are the source of power, so we deserve the right to know what's going on within our government. But the problem with Kash Patel is, and the concern I have with Kash Patel is, in his attempt to completely open up the transparency, I foresee that he may or may not use his own power to go against Democrats in vicious ways in the similar vein of J. Edgar Hoover. So there's a very thin line. I mean, and the reason why I draw that conclusion is because he himself is he wrote a children's book about the Russian collusion. Now, for those of you who don't know much about Kash Patel, he got his fame and his approval by Trump when he went after, the October surprise or the call out by the Democratic Party in 2016 that the Russians had interfered so much in the election that Trump was able to be elected, by purchasing fake Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff, or maybe even tapping into voting machines. I'm on the side where I don't believe, I'm open to the possibility yet that yes, there was Russian intervention, but I don't think that it did much to interfere or at least sway the election so much so in Donald Trump's favor. So there is a little bit merit to what Kash Patel is saying, but like I said, he is such an extreme loyalist to Trump, and usually it's traditional that the FBI director or any bureaucratic or independent regulatory agency acts nonpartisan, but this is a very extremely partisan pick. And Kash Patel is kind of a very weird kind of, you know, he gives the same vibes to me as Vivek Ramaswamy in the sense where it's just like, okay, like, okay, yeah, I get your point, but the way they present themselves is very atypical. But obviously, that's working to their advantage. That's why I'm talking about them. They're not your typical politician. They talk in a way that's very distinctive. So, as an Indian, I know Kash Patel. Do I look up to him? I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel the whole like, I need representation in government. If it wasn't Kash Patel, if his name was Cassius Clay or something like that, his name is not even Cash, it's Kashyap, but he goes by Cash, which makes sense. A lot of us Indian brethren do that. Me, I won't do that. I'll keep my name because I like my name. And damn it, it's America. You should know how to pronounce my name. But yeah, Kash Patel. We'll see what this man is all about. I don't know if he's just talking the talk or if he'll actually walk the walk and expose the evil doings of the government, or maybe even go as far as weaponize the FBI for himself to go against Democrats. But let me know what you guys think, and I will see you soon, and I hope you enjoyed that.